While I personally join with my opponent's disgust at any unnecessary animal deaths that result from testing, the reality is that in vivo testing is effective, and that it is the only means to test certain drugs, vaccines, and chemicals where no alternative exists. Plus, an outright ban would have harmful effects on humans. I acknowledge the advancement of science in the field of in vitro testing, but it is not the complete replacement for live tests, and thus I stand in negation of the resolution. Resolved. The United States federal government should ban all testing that requires the use of animals. Observation 1. The use of the word all in this resolution places a steep though achievable burden upon the pro. My opponent must show that all testing requiring animals can and should be stopped. The opposition needs only prove that there exist sufficient cases where viable alternatives do not exist to win this debate. Contention 1. Alternatives are not valid replacements for in vivo testing. US FDA states specifically why alternative testing cannot replace live testing for pharmaceuticals at this time. From Dr. Wilcox, US FDA Director of Animal Care Practices, 1994, quote, "For true replacement of an in vivo with an in vitro model to successfully occur, research should focus on the mechanisms of dermal or ocular irritation in humans. Tissue repair, the reversibility of lesions, is an important facet in classifications of substances. Similarly, some products may not cause severe tissue damage or visible irritation upon exposure, but may cause considerable discomfort or pain. Demonstrating such phenomena will be most difficult without in vivo modeling," end quote. Even the creators of the modern alternatives admit that total replacement isn't possible and may never be. From Dr. Jonathan Dordick, creator of the data chip test, September 2008. Quote, NIEHS-supported scientists have developed a new in vitro screening model that may reduce the number of animals needed in drug testing. The cell culture slide, known as the data chip, has been tested with human bladder, liver, kidney, heart, skin, or lung cells. While they don't think their product will totally replace the use of live laboratory animals in drug testing, they do think that it could reduce the total number of animals used in bringing new products to the marketplace, end quote. The impact here is that watchdogs and alternative testing scientists, the very people backing the pros case, admit that they cannot replace live testing. If live testing cannot be replaced no matter how much the opposition wants to, no matter how deplorable the death of the animal is, the need outweighs the desire. Contention 2. An outright ban is not needed and would impact human health. Animal testing is not animal cruelty. Humane testing methods are required and can be achieved. From Charles River Labs, a leading lab for testing vaccines, April 2013, quote, "The in vivo biosafety testing service is a specialized technical group with Charles River that performs preclinical research studies. These studies and test methods comply with the most stringent international standards for the use of laboratory animal models to demonstrate the safety of medical products," end quote. The article goes on to state how the compliance is achieved using humane compliant GLP conditions. From the same source, quote, "The inapparent virus assay is our most complex test and is performed under GLP conditions. This assay includes a 28-day period in which several species are inoculated with a test article of vaccine through various routes and are monitored daily for the prescribed observation period. Unlike antibody production tests, which are based on post-mortem serological results, the IVA is based on the animal's clinical well-being and survival rates," end quote. This testing method is effective and regarded as the gold standard for human non-destructive testing. Furthermore, removing the in vivo testing process would essentially make human subjects the initial live trial. Many times, the effect of a new drug cannot be determined in an animal until necropsy, or in this case, human pathology or autopsy. This would mean a return to human experimentation of a type and scale not seen since the days of Nazi Germany. It dehumanizes the patient, turning them into a guinea pig and turning the doctors into Frankensteins and Hydes they never signed on to become. Additionally, pain cannot be tested in vitro. Thus, products tested solely in vitro without animals would be potentially excruciating to the end patient. And now a couple of specific responses to the pro. Let's be clear, my opponent himself has set the high bar that meets my observation 1, that all testing should be banned. He agrees with this. The problem is his own evidence doesn't reach that bar. Look at his contention 1. The only evidence he presents in support of his position that viable alternatives exist is that Hurrell created a replacement for testing effects on the human liver. But it isn't even out of research trials yet. It's only a proof of concept. According to Casey Research, April of 2012, quote, "Companies like Celasic, Hurrell, and Heprigen have successfully transitioned from academic labs to producing and marketing chips or substrates. It's still too early to test how successful this field of research will be. Ultimately, the goal is to integrate the various organs on a chip. Amazing, but this is still years away," end quote. Now is not the time to ban all animal testing. The technical problems, even in my opponent's alternative, Hurrell, are still not resolved. Note, this is his only offered alternative to the test he proposes eliminating. Look at his contention 2 with regard to tests being cruel. I respond 4 ways. 1. As I said in my contention 2, pain cannot be predicted. The result of removing animal testing means performing human trials on drugs that may hurt or kill people. Even if they pass Hurrell-style human-on-a-tip testing, they cannot predict pain or irritation or fever or other responses. 2. While I would concede that pain and suffering in animals is deplorable, the exchange of that pain with pain and death in humans is more deplorable. By choosing animal testing, we choose the lesser of two evils. 3. Also, results of in vitro testing cannot be guaranteed. Alternatives currently don't work or aren't fully tested. Additionally, they're not complete as they don't predict human pain responses. 4. Finally, as I've shown, animal cruelty can be reduced without limiting the animal testing, as shown by my Charles River example. And finally, his third contention. My opponent has not offered any alternative to military testing. Additionally, he's offered no warrant for his claims about military testing. Certainly nothing I can check by looking at the literature. My position is supported by the literature that I have provided. Furthermore, even if I concede that military animal abuse should be banned, it hardly meets the bar of banning all animal testing. I empathize with my opponent's desire to see animal cruelty ended, but animal cruelty and animal testing are not the same. In fact, the fact that certain historical tests have been conducted in cruel and inhumane manners doesn't indict the entire system. At this time, a systematic animal testing program is still necessary. This is the status quo. We're headed in the right direction. We're just not there yet, as my opponent's own evidence shows. There will come a day where human progress is not borne on the backs of our animal companions, but sadly this is not this